Welcome, please stand as Gary Berg leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Please be seated unless you are a visiting Rotarian or a guest of a Rotarian, so I will introduce you now. Bob, you can go first.
Thank you. My guest today is Dr. Randy Shearer. Randy is working with me now, and it's actually a renewal. Oh, we're supposed to be facing this way. Has earned his PhD with me in the late 1980s, and so it's delightful to have him come today and hear this special speech.
Hi, I'm Frank, and I have my friend Rick here. He's into landscaping, painting with his company. It's a new look. He makes your place look new. Anyways, come check out the Rotary Club. Hopefully he joins us.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I have one of our CU's finest here, Elizabeth Hertz. She's a senior. She's past president of the Rotaract, and she's now chairman of Peaceful Schools. And I'll let her tell you a little about Peaceful Schools.
Hi, everybody. As John said, my name is Elizabeth, and I've been part of the Rotaract Club since my spring semester freshman year. One of my personal favorite projects that we do has been Peaceful Schools. And if you're not familiar with it, essentially we go to Uni Hill Elementary School for about an hour once a week, and we'll separate the kids into small groups, read a story, dissect the moral of it, and ask some thought-provoking questions. It can be, when was the last time you did a good deed? When did you feel a very strong emotion? And I think this is so advantageous because especially when you're one-on-one with the kids, they're very receptive and responsive. And it's, I think, forming a very good habit of self-reflection. It's going to make them more considerate and hopefully more cooperative individuals because they are the future generation. So definitely worth our time, love, and energy.
Hello, please allow me to introduce my guest, Sue Sheeran. And Sue and I had met at her company, which is Goodbye Blue Monday, and they're a branding company, very close to kitty corner from us. And they've been around for 30 years, so right at Foothills and Pearl Parkway. And we got talking, and it turned out that her son was in Young Ryla. And so we talked more about Rotary, and here she is today. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Craig Womack. This is my father. He is a retired executive, corporate executive, and currently a personal historian, as well as the vice president-elect of To Celebrate Life, which is an organization that assists women going through breast cancer.
Hey everyone, I'd like to introduce to you another Norma. This is Norma Portnoy. There aren't many Normas around, so I get real excited when I meet another Norma. This Norma has been a healthcare administrator, retired now, and she's been a member of the Commerce City Rotary Club for 10 years, and she has submitted her application, and so I'm hoping there'll be 2 Normas in the club very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm very pleased to introduce my mom, Regina White. She is a retired claims specialist for State Farm. I almost forgot. And I actually have another guest incognito. Her name is Eleanor. And this is her first meeting. And so thank you for both of you for coming.
My guest is Karen McCormick. She was a veterinarian for 17 years and owned the Alpine Hospital for Animals. She also recently ran against Ken Buck for Congress, and this is her second visit. Hopefully that will lead to her joining the club.
I'm very pleased to introduce my guest, David Burnett. He is a senior vice president with Wells Fargo as the regional manager for private banking. And he's just completed 6 years on the board of the Association for Community Living. And I now want to get him to come in here so I get to continue seeing him.
And I'm very happy to introduce my guest, Sarah Wyndham, who lives in Houston and works with me as an intern on the Peacemakers podcast. And she is very interested in Rotary and particularly in peace building, and very interested in the Rotary Peace Fellows program.
My guest is Jean Nelson, my better half. Thank you very much.
President Mike, my little tidbit in terms of our 100-year history is recollecting Dick Meckley, the late Dick Meckley, who was a banker. And his little quote was, as a banker, I must advise you, always live within your means, even if you have to borrow to do so.
Wise words. Good words of advice. Welcome, everyone. We're going to have a great meeting. I have to say that Cassie and I have been having a good time all week thinking of every marijuana stereotype out there. I don't know if you noticed, but the dessert were brownies. Okay, that was one of our jokes. We thought, oh, let's have brownies. And then we're like, oh, let's get Cheetos. Let's put Cheetos on all of the things, and let's get some Taco Bell. And what's great is our speaker is here to talk about the stereotypes, the perceptions versus the reality. And Kayvon is a great person to bring us up to speed. So thank you for being here today. Before we get started, I would love to have Kelly Child come up here with Eleanor, because we have a red badge to give to our newest member, Eleanor Mabel Child. She's in there. I don't know if we can see that. She was born December 12th. At 6 pounds, 10 ounces. Okay, now, Cassie and I, we don't have children, which kind of makes us experts on parenting. Okay. Now, leading up, I can only assume that you had some anxiety and a lot of sleepless nights. And so now that she's been born, you can relax and you can sleep the whole night. Is that right? Oh, great. That's so good. Now, I've heard she's had some VIP treatment. Okay. Chauffeur. Is that right? Personal shopper, picking out her clothes. And paparazzi constantly taking her picture. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, she's goal-oriented. Her goals for the year are to roll over, walk, and talk. Is that right?
Got it.
Okay, great. We're pushing for it. Now, the birthday, George is always in charge of the birthday table. And it's a tradition here at Boulder Rotary to sit at the table and you give $1 towards the scholarship fund for every year of your life. But there's a little known rule that you can also give $1 for every month. So Cassie and I are going to give the first $2 in her name to the Boulder Rotary Club Foundation. There you go. There we go. Ambassador to the Future is her classification. Congratulations, Kelly. Okay. And then, great. We're going to go to Teresa. Okay. Do we have a special guest from Denver? Is that right, Teresa?
Hello. How are you, Boulder Rotary Club? I'm so thrilled to be here today. I am kicking off the Tech Committee's new live streaming service. It's sort of a soft launch today, but you and today me can join meetings virtually and from anywhere you are on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. And so you'll be able to listen to the meeting and the speaker in real time. And so this is wonderful for me because, as some of you may know, I have started a new job in Denver. And so I'm going to have the opportunity to just tell you a minute about that. And then I'm going to move into new member induction of Krista Marks. So let me share with you a slide here. Of course, we want to be very high tech in terms of our capabilities. So I am so thrilled to be the Chief Information Officer and Executive Director of the Governor's Office of Information Technology. Governor Polis has selected me and for this great honor to be on the cabinet, serving the people, serving Colorado. And so our job is a big one. We keep all the information flowing and all the systems running securely in the state. And so just by the numbers, we are a enterprise provider and really like a consultant to all of the governor's offices and executive branch to bring and support information technology. So in this organization of information technology, we have over 900 employees in 70 locations. We're serving more than 31,000 state employees, over 3,000 locations across the state. We're supporting more than 1,000 different applications. And you would be surprised, but daily we detect and deflect over 8.4 million security events daily. So it's a huge job. I'm luckily not doing this alone. I have a strong team of people who handle cybersecurity and keeping all of the systems, both telecom, computers, databases, networks, the public safety network running, and working on emerging new technology like broadband throughout the state. So it's wonderful to have the opportunity to be with my family, Boulder Rotary, via a technology interface here, live streaming. So on that note, I think we're going to move into the induction of Krista Marks. And so I guess, is Krista on stage? Hello there.
She's there.
Fantastic. Let me actually, let me actually go into the induction piece of this program. And so welcome Krista Marks to Boulder Rotary. And she is a new member, but actually she is a former member of Boulder Rotary Club. And it's so wonderful to have her back in our club. See, she is the co-founder and CEO of Woot Math, and this startup actually addresses the single biggest pain point in education, making all students algebra ready. It empowers teachers to reach all students and to do so by leveraging the best research-based content in collaborative, interactive instruction and personalized learning. Previously, she's quite the tech-savvy entrepreneur. She was co-founder of Kerpoof, which was the first UGC platform where kids could create art like drawings, comics, animations, stories, music videos, and more, and then share them, like them, follow them, and engage with other creators, all on a 100% moderated platform. So in 2008, to help bring about what all entrepreneurs want, which is a good exit, and Disney acquired Kerpoof, and Krista then became the vice president of user-generated content at Disney. So while at Disney, she ran the Boulder Studio that created a web platform to empower millions of kids to create and share their own content in a safe online environment. So by 2012, millions of pieces of art had been created, like over 20 million, and moderated on Disney.com. So as part of this effort, Krista was honored in 2011 with the Kids at Play Interactive Award for Emerging Pioneer at the 2011 International Consumer Electronics Show, which is a big deal. So prior to Proof, she managed products and product teams at Xilinx, programmable logic semiconductor company. And that's actually where Krista and I first met, was through her life at Xilinx. And her team there won many awards and for delivering innovative networking solutions that generated millions in incremental revenue. Prior to Xilinx, she worked at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, where she won the lab's highest achievement award for her contribution to high energy physics instrumentation. Wow. Anyway, Krista proudly serves on many boards, including the National Center for Women and Information Technology, the Silicon Flatirons Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Colorado, the Computer Science Advisory Board at the University of Colorado Boulder. And she holds multiple U.S. patents, and she has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and computer science from the University of South Carolina. She is also a dedicated Rotarian. She has multiple Paul Harris Fellows. And so besides work, you wonder, well, gosh, does she have any time to do anything but work? Well, we're going to get her involved in some more service projects, of course. But she does have a life outside of work. And here she is with her husband, Brent, and her dog, Louie. And they live on 40 acres just outside of Boulder. And she loves to hike, read, cook, and eat, like many of us, and travel and play golf, which she says badly. So welcome to Boulder Rotary, Krista Marks. Okay, so I'm not there to pin your badge on, but thank you. And I will turn the program back over to Mike Brady.
All right, thank you, Teresa. We are in good hands with you there at the tech. So come on up, Stu, for this week's vignettes.
I have a couple of friends, 3 friends actually, who are going to join me up here. So today I'm going to talk about our district governors in Boulder Rotary. Historically, our club has taken a very important role in the district. The district has had a number of different numbers. Now it's called 5450. And originally, it included clubs in New Mexico, Wyoming, and Nebraska, as well as Colorado. 8 distinguished Boulder Rotarians have served as district governors. 3 of them are here today, but first let's take a brief look at the earlier ones. Each district governor before they got that job had been a Boulder Rotary president. Harry M. Barrett was head of the Department of Education at CU. And the dates when they were district governor are shown on the photograph. Elmore Peterson was dean of the CU Business School. Cecil Cease Brierly was district manager in Boulder for the Public Service Company of Colorado. Homer P. Rainey was an educator and president at 6 colleges, including the University of Texas. And Stanley Black was a retired lawyer, is a retired lawyer, I should say, with Hutchinson, Black, and Cook in Boulder. And while I was doing research, I found a clipping from the Greeley Tribune that said he has moved there to be near his daughter and has joined the Greeley Rotary Club. You all know our last 3 district governors, these gentlemen over here, these who have been photographed extensively already today. So, but since they're here in person, we don't have their picture on the screen. Jack Rummel was a dentist for 30 years in Boulder, and he is a noted ragtime musician. He was DG in 1995 and 96. Jack said the highlights of his year were the club visits. Each district governor goes to visit all the clubs in the district routinely, I believe. Even Kremling, with 8 members, funded community projects, he said, through a monopoly on the local bingo games. In Grand Lake, the club met with Jack in the evening at Rocky Mountain National Park where he tried to read his speech by firelight while listening to the elk bugling nearby. Norris Hermsmeyer, a realtor in Boulder, was DG in 2005-2006. During his year, the district chartered 4 new clubs, raised more than $50,000 for Hurricane Katrina relief, and raised $5,000 to support the then new Granby Library, which was, you may remember, later destroyed by a renegade bulldozer driver. You can look it up. And Peter Ewing, our most recent district governor, practiced family medicine in Boulder for 36 years and was the physician for the CU athletic department. He was district governor in 2014 to 2015. He joined Rotary in 1990 when his daughter was selected as a Rotary exchange student to France, and he's been active with youth exchange at the club and district levels. Peter says, and it's hard to believe this, he considered himself an introvert before joining Rotary, but he gained speaking and organizational skills, and most importantly, self-confidence that helped him achieve the office of district governor. So please join me in thanking these 3 wonderful leaders for their service to Rotary and to us.
We have our own very star-studded red carpet event coming up, as you could see there. Academy Awards have nothing on us. We are older than they. All we need is you to join us. We've got the best show in town, the best picture of the year. So come on down, get your money, and decide what you're going to eat. But please come.
Okay, next up, someone took my agenda. Someone stole my agenda. Come on up. Fortunately, I got it memorized. Come on up, John.
I'm next on the agenda here. Continuing in the theme of club service, for those of you who wallow in bylaws for our club, and I know there are a few of you out there, at the regular meeting for the 3 meetings prior to election of new boards of directors and our president-elect, our candidates are announced. And today is the first of these 3 meetings. And the nomination committee has worked long and hard to come up with these people. And I don't know if their pictures are on the screen yet, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and announce the names, and as you hear your name, please stand up and be acknowledged. First, Janet Beardsley, director nominee. Please remain standing, Janet, unless you don't want to. Next, Chris Coker, director nominee. Chris, are you here? Willie Knierim, director nominee. Jean Lindeke, director nominee. Henry Lopez, director nominee. Saw him somewhere. Andy Meyer, director nominee. Charlotte Rome, director nominee. And finally, in our alphabetical listing, Alessandro Sachs, Director Nominee. So, there's one other person we have to bring to your attention, and that would be our President-elect nominee. And I'm thrilled to have this wonderful person clean up after all the mistakes that I'm going to make during my year as president, and that person is Sally Brown. And you'll get to see me for the next 2 weeks doing kind of something similar to this. I'll try and vary the, the program. Thank you.
All right, great, awesome. Okay, the last thing we have before, take out your raffle ticket. I've got the winning number right here. Gary, come on up while I'm reading out the number. The winning number is 827-5260. Anyone? All right, Carrie, great. Come on up. Thank you, Kayvon. Okay, come on up. We've got red to blue for Juliet Harrington. Well, this is representative of the blue badge that you will get when the blue badge is ordered. That's what you get working within a volunteer organization. So that's the blue badge that she will be getting. So there you go. Yes. That's what you'll hang it on.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Juliet Harrington and Mr. Bill Meyer, Esquire. But my pleasure to introduce and thank Bill for bringing Juliet in as a club member who's jumped right on board. She's an entrepreneur and a scientist. Her educational background includes both business and psychology degrees and a PhD in archaeology and natural history from the Australian National University. She studied ancient seafaring there across the Indo-Pacific and related that to sea level and climate change over thousands of years. She's worked in e-commerce and had a US patent that covered the online shopping cart. Juliet has a small investment company and recently launched an online retail store called uptownfrog.com. Once again, that's uptownfrog.com. Rotary is very well known in New Zealand, and Juliet is very happy to join our Boulder Club. She has 2 children, and her son John was a Rotary member at Boulder High Interact, and her daughter Sophie has expressed interest in joining Rotary as well. So Juliet's jumped right in and is the co-chair of our World Community Service Committee, along with Alessandro, and we hope you keep the momentum going. Thanks.
Okay, Rod and Randy, would you guys both come up? In the meantime, we're going to do an announcement video. Can we do that? Yeah. While they're walking up and stuff. See, what's great is he gets to edit the video afterwards. So all the dead spaces, they just all go together. So it's awesome.
This lunar eclipse brought to you by Boulder Rotary Club.
Hello, Rotarians and guests. Thank you for being here today. We are Boulder Rotary. Join your Club 1919 today and sign up for the April 6th Celebration Gala.
Well, if you didn't make it to Via Perla, you missed a great time at Happy Hour this past week. I guess Daryl made one too many jokes and was sanctioned from the rest of the club. Those that attended went home with a very special new Rotary tattoo.
The Boulder Rotary Book Club was held at past President Darla's house last week. They enjoyed a vigorous discussion of the first 1,000 days. The next book club meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 16th at Anne Marie Reader's Home from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The book that you should find is called Educated. See you there.
Anne-Marie Reader, Book Club. I get it. What do these Colorado legislators have in common? Well, they're all Rotarians, which gives me hope for our Colorado government.
Rotary Leadership Institute, a great time for anybody wanting to learn more about Rotary, connect with other clubs and other Rotarians. It'll be held on February 2nd at Red Rocks Community College.
Our annual tradition of literacy and encouraging BRC members to adopt a child in the Imagination Library continues again this year at our meetings, February 1st and 8th. Your sponsorship will ensure that the child will receive a high-quality gift book in the mail each month from now until the age of 5. Thank you, Dolly Parton, and thank you, Literacy Committee, and thank you, Boulder Rotary Club.
Our next CU Rotaract meeting is Tuesday, January 29th in the Humanities Building.
Wait, I thought it was the Humanitarian Building.
It's room 125 from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m.
That's on the CU campus, Humanitarian Building. And next week's program.
Stuart Hoover will be talking about religion, society, and politics in the digital age. Mr. Hoover is professor of Media Studies and Religious Studies at the University of Colorado at Boulder, where he directs the Center for Media, Religion, and Culture.
Don't miss it. Well, special thanks to Dave Darmore and Alan Fields for sneaking up to CU last weekend and preparing Ralphie for our 100-year celebration. By the way, Phil DeStefano would like to see you both after the meeting.
Say it with us now.
Have a great weekend.
So I am here on behalf of the International Peace Garden Committee. How many of you know about our Peace Garden? That makes a lot of people in the room know a lot more than I do about it since I was up here last week getting my red badge. Can we have that slide? So here's our, can you hear me okay without a microphone? I've been told that I can know how to project. So here's the infinite path of peace that runs up, and this is the sister city, what's that called? Plaza. Yeah, okay. And along this path, and particularly down in this area, which is Peace Garden, and then there's another Peace Garden sort of hidden under these trees on the opposite side, the north and south. Thank you very much. That was my voice. We have the opportunity to place some inscriptions of peace quotes from Nobel Peace Laureates and others who you will recognize. And we decided as a committee that we want to have as many of the members of our club as possible to have input into what those peace quotes should be. So we've come up with a collection of peace quotes. And if you look on the middle of the table, you'll see a single page. And what we would love for you to do before you leave is read through those and put a check mark on the 5 quotes that you like the best out of those that are on the page. Pretty simple. Now, if by chance you don't see any of those pages on your table, you're also going to have the opportunity to, if you will look in the rib to come out on Monday, Gary, Tuesday. So before Tuesday, we're going to have an announcement placed in the rib that will also include a link to an interactive version of this same piece of paper. So if you'll mark those, leave them on the table, we're going to gather them, we're going to tabulate them, and we're going to source the wisdom of this crowd about what should be on the benches, inscribed in the benches in this amphitheaters on both sides, and we have the opportunity to create some plaques on some of the big rocks there. So thank you for participating with us in making this decision.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Randy. What a great example of someone who just joined the club and is making a huge impact. So you can jump in on whatever your passion is. So that is it for today's meeting. I just want to say thank you to Jack Rummel and Roger Foreman, who are our greeters. Glenn Larson, Glenn Lenzen, Sarah Amarani, and Judy Pitt, who are working the table, and Paul Jurdy. And we had a little computer follow-up. So if you could give your name badge to Wendy on the way out the door, she'll take care of you. So have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you. Oh, wait, sorry. Well, someone took my notes. It's not my fault, Pam. I always write down what she wants me to say, and then I forget to read it. Don't forget to pick up your journals today, right? And there's something else. Bobby wanted me to say that next Friday at 10:40 here at the JCC, there is youth. Is Bobby here? Yell it out. Youth education training.
Training for volunteers and working with children. 1 hour. Right. Not required, but strongly suggested. Including travelers, reading partners, and so forth. If you work with children on behalf of Rotary, we'd love to give those training. But watch for children when it comes to future threat and suicidal ideation. Please training.
That's exactly what I was going to say, but I wanted to share the announcement with Bobby. So you're welcome, partner. Okay, have a great weekend.